Over the last 48 hours, the global music industry has entered what insiders are privately calling a full-scale state of emergency. Drake, one of the most streamed artists in the history of both Spotify and YouTube, a man who has broken more Billboard records than almost anyone alive, is sitting at the center of the most explosive digital crisis the music world has seen in years. And the story behind it is darker, messier, and more shocking than anything his fans could have prepared themselves for. Stay with us, because what the labels are desperately trying to bury is about to come to light. The night everything leaked. To understand how we got here, you have to go back to the night it all began. It was an ordinary evening. No red carpets, no announcements, no industry buzz. Just a quiet Tuesday that was about to become the most chaotic night in recent music history. Somewhere in the dark corners of the internet, a group of hackers who had been circling one of the music industry's most heavily guarded backup servers for months finally found their way inside. Within minutes of breaching the system, they had what they came for: a folder of completely unreleased, high-quality Drake recordings that had never been heard by a single person outside of the studio. These were not rough demos. They were not forgotten experiments. They were polished, emotional, deeply personal tracks, and some of them contained raw, unfiltered lyrics that directly referenced some of the biggest names in Hollywood. The kind of content that music teams spend years carefully deciding whether to release or whether to bury forever. The hackers dumped everything onto the open internet simultaneously, and within minutes, TikTok ignited. Clips spread faster than any legal team could track them. Fans who stumbled across the audio could not believe what they were hearing. Comment sections exploded with shock and excitement. For a few brief, electric hours, the entire internet believed that Drake had secretly dropped a surprise album, an unannounced release, raw and unfiltered, a gift to his most loyal fans. But the celebration did not last, because the mood shifted the moment people started listening more carefully to the lyrics. These were not songs meant for public ears. They were confessional, explosive, and deeply revealing. Drake's legal team, alerted by an internal monitoring system, went into immediate crisis mode. Cease and desist letters were fired off to every platform, every account, and every individual sharing even a single clip of the leaked audio. YouTube began removing videos in real time. Spotify took down unauthorized uploads within hours. The scrubbing operation was massive, coordinated, and brutally efficient. But on the internet, nothing disappears completely, and the damage had already been done. Why the labels are terrified. To anyone watching from the outside, the speed and scale of the industry's response might seem excessive. After all, leaked music happens all the time. Artists survive it, careers recover. So why did this particular leak trigger what multiple sources are describing as a genuine industry-wide emergency meeting? The answer comes down to one thing: money. Staggering, almost incomprehensible amounts of money. When a major artist of Drake's caliber has unreleased music in the vault, that music is not just art, it is a financial instrument. Every single track is part of a carefully engineered rollout strategy that has been planned, in some cases years in advance. Marketing campaigns are built around it, streaming platform exclusivity deals, worth tens of millions of dollars, are negotiated based on the assumption that the music does not exist publicly yet. Brand partnerships are structured around premiere dates, radio promotions are locked in, advertising budgets are committed. When that music leaks without warning, every single one of those arrangements collapses simultaneously. Advertisers pull their commitments, Spotify and Apple Music lose the exclusive access they paid for, and may demand refunds or renegotiation. The entire commercial architecture built around an upcoming release crumbles overnight. Industry insiders with direct knowledge of the situation are now claiming that this specific leak has caused an internal rift between Drake and his label that goes far deeper than a simple security breach. There are reports of a temporary block placed on his official distribution channels, while both sides attempt to assess the full scope of the financial damage and determine who, ultimately, bears legal responsibility for the failure that allowed this to happen in the first place. The label is not just fighting hackers, it is fighting a clock, because every hour those tracks remain accessible somewhere on the internet, the commercial value of Drake's upcoming project deteriorates further. And in an industry where a single release weekend can generate hundreds of millions in streaming revenue, every lost hour carries a price tag that makes even the most senior executive sweat. The fans, the fallout, and what comes next. While the label scrambles and the lawyers file motions, the people caught most painfully in the middle of all this are the fans. And their reaction has been unlike anything the music industry anticipated. Because while the official channels have gone dark and the cease and desist letters continue to fly, a growing segment of Drake's fan base has made a decision. They are not staying quiet about what they heard. On Reddit, dedicated communities have begun archiving descriptions of the leaked tracks in obsessive detail, cataloging lyrics and analyzing production choices. On Twitter, the conversation has split into two furious camps: those who believe the fans have a right to hear music their favorite artist created, and those who argue that distributing stolen creative work, no matter how much you love the artist, is a form of theft that ultimately harms the very person you claim to support. But the real question nobody can stop asking is simpler and more damaging than any online debate. How did this happen in the first place? Major record labels spend enormous sums of money on digital security. Backup servers storing unreleased material from an artist of Drake's profile are supposed to be locked behind layers of encryption and restricted access that make them effectively impenetrable. And yet, here we are. Which means one of two things. Either the security systems failed catastrophically, or the breach had help from someone already on the inside. That second possibility is the one nobody in the industry wants to say out loud, but it is the one that multiple anonymous sources are quietly pointing toward. The investigation is ongoing. No arrests have been made, and Drake himself has said nothing, a silence that speaks volumes. The king is watching his kingdom burn. Drake has survived feuds, controversies, and public battles that would have ended lesser careers. He has weathered criticism and found a way to emerge on the other side stronger every single time. He is, by any objective measure, one of the most resilient figures in modern music history. But this crisis is different. This is not a diss track that can be answered on wax. This is not a public feud that can be resolved with a statement. This is a fundamental breach of trust in his label, in his security infrastructure, and in the systems supposed to protect the most private parts of his creative life. The music is gone from the official platforms. The legal machinery is grinding forward. The investigation continues behind closed doors, in boardrooms that none of us will ever see the inside of. But the question that lingers, the one that neither the label nor the lawyers can scrub from the internet to release them officially on his own terms, would that be a defeat, or would it be the ultimate power move? Leave your answer in the comments. Drop a like, subscribe, and turn on notifications, because in this story, the next chapter could drop at any moment.